My name is Pavel Alvarado. I'm co-founder and CEO of Minero Inc. Today I'm going to talk about Minero Suite 1.0 Smart Pit Designer. How we can create quick and reliable pit designs. We can use middle benches and crest and toes to do that. In this particular exercise we will use mid benches. With the Smart Pit Design tool, engineer will be able to get their optimal pit design, dam designs and plans. Let's double click in the Minero icon to start. First we are going to load Marvin Topo. Polygon object Marvin Topo is displayed in blue. Then we're gonna load Marvin block model. Can zoom in and zoom out, scrolling in the middle button. Hold the middle button, icon pan. We are in bench 515. We can always jump to a different bench. Just for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to save the project. Call Minero Video Marvin Smart Pit Designer. So next time we open project, you have that information there. I can set up bench height, cursor radius in view settings. I will run optimal pit to see the optimal pit shells now. So I am using variable slope, which basically has the geotechnical block model. This Marvin block model has 62,220 blocks. It generally takes around 20-35 seconds to run optimal pit in Minero for this size of block model. So now we have pit shell in red. We can thickness up, thickness down. I will go to the bottom of the pit. In this case is 515, the bottom of the pit. I can go up and down with arrow key. So now that I am in the bottom of the pit, I'll start thinking how it's gonna be my pit design using pit shells and block model. Create a new object. This polygon object I'll call pit design. I can set up color for this pit design in render property. I can set up one color, green. I'll try to, my cursor is 40, so it's operational. So I'll try to create a pit in here. Probably this, let's see how it goes up. So it's gonna go up to the north. It's gonna grow more. So it's important to understand how it's gonna grow. That way, also make me think how can I create my design. Edit. Using editing and digitizing, mineral editing and digitizing tools, I'll try to create a operational pit and trying to get the most value of this deposit. Left click. Probably can create a ramp here. This is to input the road information. So 40, let's put it 40 here to the last point to the right, or the last point to the left. I actually want to go to the right. So in red is going to be my ramp design. I'm going to render it. I'm going to just edit also this design. I always can move and change directions. I can always edit this. The beauty of allow me to edit, allow me to modify. I can on and off information that I wanted, that I don't want it. So this is my bottom of the pit. So once I have my first, the bottom of the pit, I will start using a slope projection tool, which is under the slopes. Also we have an icon here, slope projection. Here I can define which slope projection parameters I will use. So let's see also bench height, benches per cut bench, number of projections, berm width, bench direction, projection direction. But let's have a look at the block model that we'll have. This block model, Marvin block model, have a slope. This slope variable actually contains geotechnical information. And all this geotechnical slope information, user can visualize the slope angles in table view in detail, block by block. So here in slope projection, we'll need to predefine how many benches per catch bench we wanna use, number of projections, berm width, bench projection is going to be up and down, projection direction. If it's a pit, it's going to be, this setup is for pits, up and out. When we start in the bottom, we can always change that direction. So in this case, we'll use the Mervin block model with the variable, the geotechnical information in the variable slope. So this is how it looks like now, the projection up. So we can project one bench up. We can always edit this shape. Let's say we wanted to have a switchback here because we want to take advantage of the north area. We can edit. I don't know what happened with this point. We'll check it out later. Move this point. I can use offset tools to doing this anyway. I can change, I can create my switchback here. So this is my last point. So the ramp is going in this direction. I wanted to do like, so let's say this is the last point that I created. I'm gonna move it a little bit here. And then I wanted to make a ramp here. And let's say to the right side of here. I wanted the ramp to go here. To do that, I can do here. To the left side, I want to change, to make a switchback to the left this time. So this is going to be the switchback. But I wanted to keep all these blocks inside my design. So I can edit all this. I can move this point probably a little bit like this. That way I can take advantage of those blocks as well. So this is editable. Engineers can define whether they wanted to add some blocks or not. And basically, they make the decision. So after that, we create the switchback. We can do one bench above or multiple benches. Generally speaking, engineers wanted to do one at a time. That way, they can see the progress of the pit design. Keep going up. And we always can on and off information, like Marvin Topo on off right now, and keep having the pit shell and the design. And we can go up and all the way up to the top, to the surface. So I have a design, existing design. I call it pit design as well. I will open that object. So it's already created. I'll get rid of this one. This new pit design, I'll give a green color. Come on. Okay, so the beauty of this tool also is that the current bench you will always visualize the current bench. So it's highlighted all the time. So we got to the topo. Now we're gonna on the topo. So in bench 935, topo design are in the same bench. So with that one, we can say, okay, we have the design, we have the topo, and we finalize the design. For the purpose of the exercise also, I would like to just see the design. In fact, I can create a toe crest of this design, right? Something important to move from middle benches to toe and crest. And like I say, we can use the block model, or we can just use a fixed value. In this case, it's a pit. We have 30-foot bench. Don't forget to do the toe crest of the right object. Let's do it for, in this case, for the pit design. Can do thickness on off. So here's our mid bench and toe, crest and toe. Let's go down, crest and toe, 10%, 10% slope gradient for ramp. Okay, so let's go back to pit design and let's go back to the topo. So the other thing that engineers would like to see is to get extraction shape. What is the extraction shape between the topo and the design? So what is inside this? So we will use, I can use cut and fill tool to do that, to get the extraction shape. So here I will decide, I will use the Marvin topo, and here I will use the design. I'll use intersection. Using intersection, I'll get the extraction. Let's call it pit extraction. Okay, it's just one click. Topo, design, it's there. Just for the purpose of visualization of topo, of pit design. So this is actually pit extraction is what we need to extract from the pit. From the original topo, that's what we need to extract. If we want to get the pit limit, just another operation with our cut and fill. In this case, we'll call Marvin and pit design, and we'll have here pit limit. So I don't need to do again that. Pit limit is there, topo minus design. So a new polygon object was generated of this pit design here. So this is the pit design, right? So this is the pit limit, let's say. So we got the pit extraction, which is there. We got the pit limits there as well. Something that engineers would like to see is how can I get grades and tonnage or reports from pit extraction polygon. Using Minero grade tonnage report, we can get that information in detail. So we have here in reports grade tonnage, also as an I got this one grade tonnage report. Whether we don't use block model or whether we use block model, we can get detailed information. When we have a block model, we will get grades in addition to tonnages and grade and volumes when we don't have block models. So let's have a quick look at the pit extraction shape without block model. Just default density value 1. So here what we have is, well, polygon object pit extraction and bench by bench tonnages and volumes. So if we have block models, we can use density variables and we can get detailed information as well. All the grades, profit, slope. Okay, so similarly, what we have here in pit extraction, we can create leach pads using design tools, slope projection, cut and fill, offset settings, road settings, and toe and crest and contour blocks. To do that, we can just use, we can define the area where we're going to have our leach pad and then create it from there. I have one already created. Let's see this leach pad. In purple, we have leach pad and we have a topo. Let's say this is our pit. So around this area we have our leach pad. Similar, using design tools, we can create this leach pad. We can use offsets for small areas, narrow areas, or any type of designs. We can definitely get tonnages and grades for this leach pad that I created here. Leach pad will have tonnages and volume, bench by bench or lift by lift. In fact, if we want to create in-progress maps, or the final map, so far we have pit limit. I can have pit and path limits, including this. So it's a matter of, you can use design tools, cut and fill. I can have, let's say now we have the pit limit and we have the leach pad. Union will give me the total, it's a simple step. I can call pit, path, limit. And also I can have only the extraction between the difference between leach pad and bit limit, since they don't have, yeah, definitely we have that, we can have that, and we can call here leach pad field, something like that. Okay, so we have here off this one, I'm gonna off design, adding topo, shells, sign talk rest, leach pad. Just for fun, was off this one for a second. Leach pad can be all benches. So this is the field what we have to do in with the topo, and this is the pit path limit. Let's put it 10,000 here, or 1,000 here, 1,000 there. So this is gonna look like the final topo, the pit path limit once everything's done. Well, once again, we accomplish our pit designs, our dumping area designs. In just a few minutes. Don't hesitate and visit us at our webpage, www.mineromining.com. We will be happy to answer your questions and suggestions. In name of the Minero team, I have to thank you for your time.